Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy, back at it again with another Minecraft video, and today we're gonna take a look at my Brown video portfolio. If you guys are new here, hi, my name's Lordrick, currently a senior in high school, and you can follow me on Instagram at lordrick.valsote. So today I want to talk about my video portfolio that I submitted to Brown University as part of my application. I uploaded that video onto this channel yesterday, so if you haven't already, please go check out that video. I'll put a link somewhere, and I'll play a clip of it right now. So every day I continue to push myself, whether it's training for that next race, studying for that next test, or trying to watch an episode of anime without the subtitles. In case you aren't familiar with it, the video portfolio is something that Brown started to do in the 2018-29 application cycle. I think this is the second year of them doing it. Probably. And it's supposed to be an alternative to the usual college interview that most schools do. So when you're applying to Brown on the Common App, there's an option where you can choose between either doing a regular college interview like most schools do, or you can do a video portfolio, which some other schools do, but it's not as common as the traditional college interview. And there's obviously pros and cons to each option, so since Brown views either option equally, you should pick the option that suits you the best. Honestly, it doesn't really matter which one you pick for your application. If you're the type of person that's really outgoing and does well in interviews, then pick the interviews. And if you're the type of person who doesn't do well in those settings, then pick the video portfolio. Since they're both treated equally, it doesn't really matter which one you pick. So pick whichever one you want. So when I was applying to Brown, I said that I wanted to do the college interview because that's what I was most comfortable with. Since I had already done a couple interviews for some other schools before, so I figured that that would be the best option for me. And then I had to wait a couple of weeks to hear back about my interview because most colleges use alumni as their interviewers. So I was just waiting to get an email from my interviewer for Brown so that we could set that up and get it out of the way. But at the end of January, when I had already done my interviews for all my other schools, I got an email from Brown saying that there weren't any available interviewers in my area. So they gave me the option to do the video portfolio instead. And honestly, it was kind of a bummer because I thought I would have done really well in an interview, but you just have to make the best of what you have, honestly. So I would say that the interview and the video portfolio differ on two key points. The first point being the amount of time you have, because in college interviews, you usually have anywhere between half an hour to an hour. I've even had some interviews that have gone on for 2 hours. And for the video portfolio, you only have 2 minutes. So clearly the time limit is a pretty big difference between the two. And the second key difference, which I think makes up for the first difference, is the presentation of each format. Because in the college interview, you only have one chance to do everything since you're having a conversation with a person. So you don't have any redos. What you say is final. But with the video portfolio, since you're recording it, you have as many tries as you can, so you can mess up as many times as you want. So you could go through 100 takes before you get to your final product. And so the reason why both the interview and the video portfolio are viewed basically equally in the eyes of the college is because if you can use your allotted time really effectively, then you should be able to squeeze as much information into that 2 minutes as you would into an hour and a half long interview. I also think that the video portfolio lends itself to creativity really well because it's basically a 2-minute film about yourself. So if you can use this medium creatively to show off your personality, I think that would be really effective, which is what I tried to do. Basically, my thought process going into making this video portfolio was I tried to think about what I would want to convey if I were doing a college interview. So I made a list of all the topics that I talked really well about in my other interviews, and I figured that I should talk about those topics in my video since I already had experience talking about them. And so just like in my other interviews and in my essays and essentially every part of my application, I really worked to convey the personal theme that I was trying to develop. And I think that having the video medium, which is essentially a short film, really lends itself to storytelling, which is why I think that I was able to convey my theme pretty well. But unlike with my essays and interviews, I didn't really have many examples to go off of when I was making my video. Because since this format was pretty new for Brown, there weren't many examples of it on the internet. I think that there was only one example of an accepted video portfolio last year. And since I didn't really have much direction to go off of since there weren't really many examples, I was kind of on my own for that. But since I already had prior experience with making videos, since I'd already been vlogging and making other kinds of videos on this channel before that, So it all worked out in the end. And I remember while I was scrolling through Reddit back when I was applying to colleges that there were a lot of people who were applying to Brown that had to do video portfolios, but they didn't have any experience making videos before that, so they were all really nervous about it. But I have heard of examples of people where their video portfolios were essentially just them sitting in front of their cameras talking like I am right now, and they were able to get into Brown. And that shows that honestly the style in which you film the video doesn't really matter as long as you can convey your points. But I do think that trying to integrate more creative storytelling techniques is going to be really effective. But I have seen examples of video portfolios from applicants who had a really high level of production quality, but those video portfolios along with the rest of their application were not accepted, unfortunately. So at the end of the day, the college admission process is pretty holistic at best. And in the first place, college interviews don't hold as much weight as people would think, because there's a bunch of other places in your application where you can really show your personality, like in the essays. So if your interview isn't top notch or your video portfolio doesn't have the highest quality, it honestly doesn't matter that much. Because so long as you are able to present the best version of yourself that you can, that's all that can really be asked of you. But obviously I'm just speaking through my own experience, so take everything I say with a grain of salt. And that's basically all I had to say. When I uploaded my video portfolio to YouTube, I got a couple of questions from people asking what it was. So I figured that I'd just do a little video where I went more in depth into what it was and why I did it. And yeah, so if you enjoyed the video, please be sure to leave a like and comment down below. And don't forget to subscribe for some more great content. That's all for today, folks, so I'll see you guys next time. Bye!